Beloved heart, before we begin, I have a special gift for you. If you've been feeling the intensity of Earth's rising plasma light codes and want to stay centered in your body and heart and energy field, I've created a free light language quantum grounding activation just for you. This transmission will help you stabilize, integrate, and align with the new frequencies flowing onto the planet. Simply join my mailing list. See the link that's in the show notes to receive instant access. Let's ground into the light together.
This is the transfiguration of the new you.
Hello, beloved heart. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome to another month in 2026. We're in July of 2026 now, and we have been kicking off this month with some really extreme spikes in the Schumann resonance, as well as solar flares, geomagnetic storms, the sun being super active, and things just feel like really weird. I would say they don't feel the same. It feels like um, it's definitely feels like a whole different planet that we're on. Definitely different since last year. And so that's what I want to talk about is what really feels like this great unveiling and the Earth's frequency shift. And it's all to do with, what the Schumann resonance is showing, what the scales, are measuring, as well as what measurements are being shown, as far as like noticing heightened solar activity, geomagnetic fluctuations, and, conversations about changes in Earth's electromagnetic environment. At the same time, many are also describing these powerful emotional releases, vivid dreams, shifts in relationships, and a growing sense that life no longer feels the way it once did. And I've been having like some really vivid dreams that have been so random as well, all over the place. But then at the same time, I at times feel like I have this sleep disruption at night, and then I can't go back to sleep. And normally I just, go back to sleep when I wake up in the middle of the night. But it's just been like some really interesting stuff going on with the energies. And so this feels, it's very much like a great unveiling or the dissolution of the veils of illusion, so forth. So it is like the end of the world for the end of the illusion. It's a dissolving of everything that has kept, us like separated from our own heart, what has kept humanity separated from its own heart. And we want to explore these dissolving veils that may symbolize why, so many people may feel life accelerating, what I call the quantum ascension, quantum acceleration, a quantum transformation, and how you can remain anchored in your own inner wisdom as profound change unfolds. So, really unfolding things going on in this world and how you can also navigate these current changes going on right now with the Schumann resonance and the solar activity going on, the sun as well. So the veils were never really meant to last. And, just imagine, right, if you're in a house and you have the curtains that are drawn over every window. And so there is this very dim light, almost dark in there. And you believe that this dimness is, reality. Um, then one day, someone just slowly opens the curtains. And so nothing outside, changed, only your ability to see. So your perception has shifted. And so that's really what's happening right now with us collectively is that we're starting to expand more on our collective angle of seeing new things. That's why, things may feel different. It feels like we're in a whole new planet, even though it's the same planet. It's just that we're opening our eyes for a new perspective on it. And so the veils, are symbolism to fear or inherited beliefs or stories that don't belong to us that are toxic in some ways, any emotional wounds or separation, scarcity, and identities that we've outgrown. And so, as these veils begin to dissolve, life may feel unfamiliar, not because you're losing yourself, but because you're discovering a deeper, more authentic version of yourself. And many listeners have shared that they're questioning careers, relationships, belief systems, and even long held definitions of success. When the old no longer fits, it can feel unsettling and uncomfortable, and it feels like being out of that comfort zone. But perhaps the discomfort is also an invitation. The sun continuously influences Earth through light, plasma codes, and charged particles, and magnetic activity. Scientists monitor the solar flares, coronal mass ejections, the CME, and the geomagnetic storms because they can affect the satellite's communication, power systems, but also us because we're also like a walking technology in some ways where we're like a transmitter and a receiver. Hence why a lot of the plasma light is also influencing us because we are also made of electromagnetic frequencies as well. So there is this whole shift of frequency, not only for the earth, but also for us, that we're going through this whole quantum ascension. And as of late, for July, in the beginning, that we've been seeing a lot of G2 and G3 storms, as well as X-class flares, M-class flares, and what some people are terming this as a machine gun form of activity going on with the sun because they keep releasing one solar flare after another. And so this is, a point where a lot of our awareness is being heightened and we're experiencing much more meaningful like ways, from a personal level of things that are unfolding not only within us individually, but also in the collective. And so these are, some very powerful cosmic events going on where July just feels like we stepped into this quantum acceleration moment that will for the rest of the year of 2026 and moving into 2027. And we're already receiving, energies and frequencies from 2027, 2028, because we are reaching that culmination point. And what I feel is recentering ourselves back to our heart, coming back to the heart and that reconnection and that remembrance. And so this is a evolutionary unfoldment of our Homo sapien aspect into this Homo luminous aspect as well, as I've shared in a previous episode. And one of the greatest, veils dissolving is the illusion of, us being separated, separate from one another, separate from nature, separate from source, separate from our own heart. And many of us were taught to compete instead of collaboration, to protect instead of trust, to accumulate instead of create, to survive instead of truly living and being the creator that you are. Yet every awakening returns us to one simple truth that life is interconnected. The heart understands connection in ways the analytical mind often cannot. As these veils dissolve, many people naturally feel called toward greater authenticity, compassion, and service, not because someone told them to, but because their own inner wisdom begins to speak more clearly, and that is that wisdom that resides within your own heart.
Beloved, if you're craving deeper connection, intuitive expansion, and consistent energetic support, join me inside the Frequency Resonance Lounge. This is a monthly Master Heart Circle, moon ceremonies that includes the full and new moon, and a private community for connections. Link is in the show notes.
So, why does everything feel faster? And have you noticed that time does feel different and weeks pass like days? Although I've seen some people talk about that time has slowed down because of the CERN shutdown, but I don't really feel that's the case. I feel things, for some people it's going to feel different. I'm just going to say this. And I feel like for the ones who are really feeling the time move faster is because they are really you're being prepared for being this first wave of these new like homo luminous coming online more fully and tapping more into those supernatural superpowers, that we hold within ourselves, because our natural state of being is to really be in our own intuition and our own psychic abilities. So sometimes, with this acceleration of time, it can feel like old memories surface unexpectedly, conversations become catalysts and relationships transform quickly. Opportunities appear almost instantly, and many describe life as accelerating. Whether we interpret the psychological, or spiritual aspect of this, um, I would say that, this is really a time to really brace for this great acceleration. And it's not a rushing thing, although it could feel like, our nervous system is rattled. And so there is this level of anxiety that may also come up. But it invites us for this greater presence. It's not about projecting or prophesizing or, what the future holds, but it's really about being more present with ourselves. So the invitation is to live from the heart. For years, humanity, I would say eons now, for there has been this whole separation where the only reliance has been the thinking mind. And the mind is, a beautiful tool, but it was never meant to lead alone. The heart carries another form of intelligence, and it is a multidimensional wisdom of intelligence that connects to the entire universe, the universal heart, the cosmic heart, the multiversal heart, and to all the hearts within each and every chakra point center that you hold within yourself, because every chakra point is an intelligence as well. And the heart aspect of all this is the center hub of all of it, is your sacred center, sanctuary, place of your own physical temple, body. So, in your soul as well. And it recognizes truth before logic catches up. It feels the coherence, it senses that alignment. It knows when something nourishes life or diminishes it. As old patterns dissolve, this invitation is not to abandon reason. It is to integrate heart and mind, to become internally coherent, to allow wisdom, compassion, and discernment to work together. So, here are some signs that you may be experiencing the great unveiling. Perhaps you've noticed that relationships naturally are changing in your life. There's this desire for this greater authenticity. There's this heightened intuition, your psychic abilities coming online. Um, your emotional healing is arising unexpectedly, and there's less tolerance for dishonesty or being very discerning and very clear as to noticing where there is dishonesty. There is a deeper appreciation for stillness, a longing to live in alignment with your purpose. And these experiences are not unique to one path or belief system, but they can accompany periods of significant personal growth in many different ways. So rather than resisting them, consider becoming curious about them and really tapping more within your own self-discovery and understanding of yourself and where it's all coming from. So you're not here to fear the change. Fear, tells us something is ending, but the heart reminds us something is being reborn, reconnected. The great unveiling is not about predicting catastrophes. It is about participating consciously in this transformation, that it is a quantum transformation. When illusion dissolves, truth becomes visible. When fear softens, love becomes accessible. When separation dissolves, community emerges. And when the old timelines fall away, purpose reveals itself. Perhaps this is the true frequency shift, not something happening only around us, something that's awakening within us, where we are becoming the signal as well, the transmitters of frequency. So one of my favorite, teachings is this. You're not merely receiving the frequencies, but you're also transmitting them as a signal post, like a tuning fork. As a tuning fork, there is this level of transmission that is being received by others as well, that is being received within this quantum field. So it has this rippling effect of signal of this transmission and reception. So every thought, every choice, every act of compassion, every moment you choose forgiveness over resentment, presence over distraction, love over fear, you become a living transmission and a living receptor as well. And your nervous system becomes this clear place as well. Your relationships become more coherent. Your presence becomes healing, not because you're trying to fix anyone, but because you embody the qualities you wish to see more in the world. And this is how collective change begins, one coherent heart at a time. And to really, clarify that when it comes to forgiveness, does not mean that you have to remain in that situation with someone if it's been like a toxic, type of environment. You can still not be part of it and still forgive, because the forgiveness is really within you as part of your own healing process as well. So beautiful soul, perhaps the veils are not falling because the world is ending, but perhaps they're dissolving because humanity is remembering and is reconnecting. So remembering compassion, remembering connection, remembering purpose, remembering that wisdom that has always lived within your own heart. You don't have to know every answer. You don't have to predict the future. You simply just have to remain present. Stay grounded, choose love over fear, cultivate discernment, and trust that each step taken from an open heart continues to a more conscious world. And this is how things are sent through this rippling effect in the quantum field. And it's a contribution that we each make in every choice that we do, in every action we take. So thank you for joining me today. And I will catch you in the next episode. Let me know how these frequencies and these current changes have been for you. Share your comments below. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.